All right, quarantine, gonna bake some bread. Here we go. All right, let's get that bowl ready. Got the baking soda. Oh yeah, smash it in there. Really smash it. All right, add some water, mix it up. Crackers are basically bread. Make sure it doesn't stick. How do you even turn on an oven? Yeah, this works. Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. Pop it in.
Baking is hard. Now, it isn't hard for everyone, just people like me who spend their time watching anime fight compilations on YouTube instead of actually learning how to use an oven. A lot of people are spending more time baking since the coronavirus has kept them at home with more time on their hands, and like me, they find that they are lacking. Luckily, there's a resource for people like us that can answer any of your baking questions. The Baker's Hotline from King Arthur Flour, a beloved flour supplier based in Norwich, Vermont, who recently changed their name to King Arthur Baking Company. The hotline has been helping struggling bakers of all skill levels for decades, so I got in touch with one of their baking experts to see if she could rise to the occasion and help me out. Barbara Alpern, their resident sourdough expert, says the number of baking questions sent in has more than doubled since last year. Let's see what kind of questions she's been getting lately.
It's a little different with pandemic baking because initially people were having and maybe still are having trouble finding certain ingredients. So we had a ton of substitution questions. If I don't have bread flour, can I substitute all-purpose flour? Or if I don't have all-purpose flour, can I use self-rising flour? So normally I would say, it's going to work out best if you follow the recipe exactly. But during this time, when people really couldn't find the ingredients and going to the store wasn't always a good idea, we had to kind of change our approach.
Barbara said that sourdough is a very popular baking topic because it takes less ingredients to start, and as their resident sourdough expert, she's been getting plenty of questions about it. Of course, she gets all kinds of other questions too, and some of them are definitely worth a laugh.
Actually, one of my colleagues, Maggie, said she just got a call recently where someone had picked up the bag of flour at the grocery store and saw our hotline number and called up and said, "How do I bake bread?"
First off, how do I bake bread? That is a complicated question.
I had some pretty bizarre pandemic-related questions that I didn't know how to answer. Like
Sure.
one person, or actually a couple people said, I brought my flour home from the store and I saturated the bag with the disinfectant wipes and now I don't know if I can use the flour. You're not going to want to use flour if it smells like disinfectant, so,
Yeah, that's probably, it'll be clean. It'll be very clean, but not tasty.
I decided to put Barbara to the test with some bakery-themed role play and gave her some scenarios.
Okay, so I'm calling the hotline. You pick up. Excuse me. My bread is on fire. What do I do?
Put it out.
Good. This is you're so far so good. All right, the sourdough is not rising. What do I like? It's not rising. I'm panicked. My child is crying.
Patience usually helps with sourdough, and it can take some time, so give it some more time.
My wife is mad at me, and I don't know what to do.
Bake her some cookies. Bake her
There
some
we go!
cookies. That'll
There we
make
go! I knew you were an expert. See, that's the thing. Baking is the solution to everything.
King Arthur Flour has been helping out struggling bakers since the company's beginning. So, I wanted to see if Barbara could reveal the secret of baking to someone as unworthy as me.
What's the secret? Is it patience? Is it love? Is it, dedication? What's the secret to baking? Please tell me the secret to baking.
Not to expect perfection, because a lot of baking is just about practicing and getting better as you go along, and sometimes things look a little wonky, but that's okay. You're learning along the way, and usually, even your mistakes are going to be delicious.
Baking has been a great coping mechanism for a lot of people worried about the pandemic, and it's great to see a company care enough to make sure they're getting the help they need. Personally, I think my short conversation with Barbara has already made me a better baker. But why tell you when I can just show you how far I've come?
Woo, right, here we go. Just like Mama used to make.